Oh, hey there, everyone. It's your buddy, Wildflower Turquoise. And today, we're going to be breaking down the Week 15 playoff picture. And it's probably the most chaotic it's ever been this season. Why do I say that? Well, you'll soon find out why. Hello, Steeler Nation. Welcome to another episode of Steelcast, the podcast where you don't have to be a Steelers fan, but it sure does help. I'm your co-host, Wildflower Turquoise. And let's go ahead and break down the playoff picture, shall we? Starting off with the AFC. Number 1 is Baltimore again, 2 is Miami, 3 is Kansas City, 4 is Jacksonville, 5 is Cleveland, 6 is Pittsburgh, and 7 is Indianapolis. In the hunt, we have Cincinnati, Buffalo, Houston, and Denver, all at 7-6. And to be fair, the Colts and Steelers are at 7-6 as well. So here's how the playoff picture for the AFC is going to go this week. 6 teams are at 7-6 going into Week 15. That's a lot of teams, which means there's going to be a change at least at 7 guaranteed, because the Steelers and Colts play together Week 15. So the winner of that game will have the 6th seed. The loser will fall out, and whoever wins, and whoever these other teams in the hunt win their game will probably take that 7th spot. Right now, the slight edge is, I think, being given to the Bengals. So, the Bengals in the Week 15 game go up against the Minnesota Vikings. So, if they win, and the Colts and whoever will probably have the 7th seed, but that is if they win. Houston plays Tennessee. That's a divisional game. They have a chance to win there. Let's see. Buffalo plays Dallas. That's going to be a tough one for them. They might actually end up losing that one. And Denver plays Detroit. That'll be an interesting one for sure. So, it'll probably either come down to the Bengals or Texans taking over that spot. Who am I going to give my underdog to? I'm probably going to give my underdog to the Cincinnati Bengals. CJ Stroud got hurt this week, so the Houston Texans will be without the starting QB this year, going up against the Titans, who actually beat the Dolphins last night. So, yeah, that's going to be an interesting game. I'm going to give my nod to the Bengals, though. The Vikings only put 3 on the Raiders, and that's kind of embarrassing. Going on to the NFC side of things now. Number 1 is San Francisco. 2 is Dallas. 3 is Detroit. 4 is Tampa Bay, 5 is Philadelphia, 6 is Minnesota, and 7 is Green Bay. That 2-game losing streak that Philadelphia has now, not looking too good. Losing a heartbreaker to the 49ers, getting put out of the number 1 spot, and then losing to Dallas, getting put at the number 2 spot, and now they have to wait and see if Buffalo is going to be able to win their game against Dallas or not, because it's going to come down to a lot of games, because Dallas has a lot of big competition coming up, so Philadelphia can still get that division win back. Philadelphia's schedule from here on out is not very tough. Philadelphia ends up playing the Seattle Seahawks, who are on a bit of a steady decline right now. So, and they just got walloped by the 49ers this past Sunday. So, yeah, I mean, the Eagles should win that game. Speaking of the hunt, we got New Orleans, Atlanta, Seattle, and Los Angeles all at 6-7. You know who else is at 6-7? Green Bay, holding on with that number 7 seed despite their loss to the Giants on Monday night, which is the first December loss they've had in quite some time. Not to mention, the Giants always seem to get the best of Green Bay. Always seem to. Green Bay, for the Week 15 game, plays Tampa Bay. So that's really big for New Orleans and Atlanta, because if Green Bay gets the win and they get their wins, let's see. New Orleans plays the Giants, so maybe they can avenge the Packers. And Atlanta plays Carolina. So, if we're being honest here, both New Orleans and Atlanta should win. So, if Green Bay can come away with the win against Tampa Bay, that means they won't be at the division lead anymore. But they really need that win. So my underdog this week is going to be the Atlanta Falcons. They're playing against Carolina, so that's kind of why. The Rams have Washington this week. And that should be an easy dub for them. So, and Minnesota, like I said earlier, they'll play in the Bengals. The Bengals are going to be fighting for that playoff spot, so they might not be able to hold on to that number 6 seed. We might see 2 teams make it onto this board, into the wildcard spots. Maybe even a new division leader. So, it's going to be a very interesting Week 15. A lot of playoff changes are going to happen, and I am excited to break it all down. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. Who do you have making the postseason, and what do you think of the rankings? Because it ain't going to stay like this, that's for sure. Just when I thought the changes wouldn't be made, the changes are being made. And I tell you, it's chaos. See? It's chaos. But that's all for me. So I am your co-host, Wildflower Turquoise. And as always, you're in Steel's country.